How is data analytics used today in North American national security? Is it enough to protect us from terrorism and cyber attacks? How is it being used today? And how can we use it to improve our protection against these outside attackers? In this video, we're going to take a look at four things: the purpose and definitions of analytics, historical uses of it, a potential future state, and define a roadmap to lead to the future that we suggest, and some challenges along the way. There is a lot of raw data out there that can be further analyzed to improve our intelligence and national security. The data can be transformed into important information pertaining to identities, motives, and actions of groups and individuals. For example, take the Sony Pictures Entertainment hack of 2014. It proved that our enemies are getting smarter and using alternate methods to threaten our national security. The FBI was able to deduce that this attack was caused by North Korea, but imagine a future where we can extend our analysis into the predictive realm and prevent these cyber attacks from happening before they become a large threat to our security. In another example, in 2014, a New Zealander, Mark Taylor, who joined the Islamic State's ranks, tweeted about his new life. What he didn't know was that his tweets are geocoded, and it gave away his and ISIS locations to global intelligence groups. In the report, The ISIS Twitter Consensus by Brookings Institute, it was reported that 46,000 Twitter accounts were being used by ISIS members and supporters and posting up to 9,000 times a day. The photo metadata is of abundance and can be overwhelming with useless information, but proven by Mark Taylor, even a fraction of a percent of the daily tweets can provide crucial data to eliminate our threats.
How is data analytics being used to achieve goals of economic and public safety? First is diagnostic analytics. Through extensive data mining, there's a lot of data to be analyzed. These are a few areas where diagnostic analytics has been used. Social media. The Department of Defense uses data mining to determine threats from Twitter, Facebook, and other sources. Facebook software analyzes criminal activity by looking at members' relationships on the network. If a member has no mutual friends or are not in the same geographic location, it raises red flags in the system. This has been used to catch radicalization attempts as well as child predators. Geographic analysis is used by the US Army and uses data mined from drone and satellite to track terrorist movements. Used in Iraq and Syria, all information received goes towards a database in real time, and military analysts make connections. Another area where data analytics has been used historically is predictive analytics. At first, this seems like something outlandish, like a science fiction movie such as Minority Report, and is largely controversial, but it's occurring today and is big in national defense. There's a branch of mathematics analyzing spatial temporal patterns to identify trends in terrorism and crime. Crime and terrorism is a lot like an earthquake. When an earthquake occurs, there are many aftershocks, and the probability of an aftershock increases after the first event. The same is for burglary and crime. When a house is burglarized, the probability of subsequent events increases. Because burglars know the layout of the house and the street, or in a terrorist attack such as the one in Paris in November, many subsequent events follow after the original attack. A team in the University of Maryland is using machine learning to try and predict some of these events before they occur. Machine learning uses Amazon technology to predict customer activity, and it's also being used to predict the movements of a South Asian terrorist organization called LET. Using algorithms to analyze the past 20 years of LET activity, geographic factors, political, and location, they found that there's an 88% chance increase of an attack when an LET operative was on trial. Lastly, there's prescriptive analytics, using analytics to push a desired outcome. Radicalization of North Americans occurs through social media as it mitigates distance. Terror organizations have been using social media extensively to radicalize individuals. Facebook has been trying to release content and ads to counter these attempts. They are offering $1,000 in advertising and free advertising for groups wishing to counter terrorism on social media.
Now let's move on to the future state of business analytics in the industry. The speed at which data is generated is exponential, 2.5 quintillion bytes of data daily to be exact. In fact, 90% of the data in the world was created over the past 2 years. The following tech trends are leading to the increase in demand for the business analytics industry. The first trend is that information is social, mobile, and local, as it is so easily obtained. This trend largely contributes to the rapid expansion of the big data industry. The second trend is that the internet is everywhere. The rate of increase in data will only grow as more devices join the internet. Everything from household appliances to industrial robots will generate and use more data, further creating potential knowledge and vulnerabilities. However, data and analytical tools are useless without data scientists, so raw, unstructured data alone will not be able to change the face of the national defense and anti-terrorism industry. An example of poorly handled threats include the Laurier gun threat. At the end of the day, agencies do not want to cause public panic, yet they do want to appear as if they are in the business of stopping plausible threats. As such, this requires a better analysis of the abundant data around. The problem then becomes analyzing the data, structuring it, training analysts, and providing reliable predictive information. As such, the demand for data analysts and scientists will further increase as more data is generated throughout the world. Therefore, the demand to harness big data will drive IT solutions to be more customizable and intuitive, becoming the next Excel, IDEA, or Tableau. Many ethical challenges exist in using data analytics in improving national safety measures. Recently, Apple has denied the US government's request to unlock the phone of San Bernardino's shooter, believing it's a slippery slope which will allow the government to snoop unconstitutionally into people's lives. The US government has been taking measures to improve the trust of the population. In 2015, the USA Freedom Act was passed. Most prominently, it ends the government's automatic bulk collection of phone records. Instead, the NSA will have to transition to acquiring call logs of targets and those of their contacts as needed in investigations. These current news highlights the importance of population trust through the enactment of proper laws, regulation, and prosecution for personal data collection. As such, governments worldwide will need to address the proper handling of personal data in order to protect privacy rights and discourage abuse. It's evident that enemies to national security and peace, like ISIS, Anonymous, and certain foreign countries, are improving the way they strike, making use of the internet as a means of communication, surveillance, and attack. There is a sea of raw data out there, in which even a percent could save billions of lives. If we want to continue to protect our citizens and our freedom, we need to improve the data analytics practice to constantly be steps ahead of our enemies and be ready for the unexpected.